Hey guys, welcome back and happy Monday. So I wasn't sure if I was going to make a recap video today because today's a no trade day for me. I was talking about on Friday that I wasn't really interested in making trades, or I was kind of thinking about taking a little bit of a vacation, kind of like a forced trading vacation, some time off. And that's more or less what I did. I woke up a little bit later today, watched a little bit of pre-market, watched the market open, and yeah, I'm happy I didn't trade. Also, I've been on a little bit of a red streak. My January is slightly red. So that's kind of annoying, and I just haven't really been super in my groove. So the best way, honestly, to stop some of the bleeding is just to take a little bit of time off, wait for good conditions. Being the person that I am, I really do believe showing up every day, and that's what kind of puts me sometimes into tricky positions. Most of the time it's really good, but as a trader, there's some days that you really just shouldn't be trading. There's just not a lot of opportunity, and it's easier to trip over yourself than to really make a profit. And I really put a lot of value as well into kind of being consistently profitable, which I love, and I don't change that value at all. But sometimes to be consistently profitable is just taking some time off. Obviously, you can't make profits those days, but you also can't lose money. And I just feel like right now the market, it's just easier to lose money. Obviously with swing trades and investments, but even with day trading, because we're just not getting a lot of resolution with day trading. And for me personally, with my momentum gap and go strategy, it's really not a good condition right now to be trading. I think there's still profits to be made. We'll talk about some of the tickers really shortly that could have worked. But then before we do that, I actually want to talk a little bit about why this week is additionally not going to be the best week for me personally, and I think for several traders out there. First of all, Trade Journal, we got 7 new interns starting today, so that's going to keep me really busy. I'm super excited, but again, that's a lot of focus for me to be managing on top of everything else I'm already doing. Plus Monday next week, which is the last day of the month, so it's the 31st. A lot of corporate taxes are due, and I need to finish those, and that's going to take me a lot of time. And you guys know every time I'm working on taxes, my trading gets worse. It's been happening for years. I get kind of stressed out around tax season, and it's always in the back of my head. So another reason to ideally just finish those this week, and then hopefully be ready to hit the ground running when I'm done with those. And then we have bigger macro concerns as well. And usually I don't talk so much about macro when I'm discussing day trading, because I feel like they're not usually so intertwined, and I don't like to trip over myself thinking about all these other things when I should just be thinking about that small cap in front of me, because it's going to move with or without macro or micro news sometimes. So you really just want to be focused on the price action. But this week specifically, things are going down a little bit even harder. We got overall Fed inflation talks happening, I think, Wednesday, and just this whole week, it's going to be a big topic. We have more earnings coming out, a lot of big companies coming out with earnings this week, and you guys know I'm not a big fan of trading around earnings. I feel like it puts a lot of volume in places that I usually don't trade, such as large caps. So those are never really my favorite times to be day trading. And I've been saying that for weeks now, and it's been really tough. So boom, there it is. Also, tax season for not just me, for many people is starting. That also takes a lot of focus away from trading the small caps. Plus, Russia tensions near all-time highs. If you open any news channel, it's like the #1 topic going on right now. And although I don't really think that affects that small cap, running, it is affecting a lot of other aspects of people's lives. And again, I really feel like that's swapping over to the small caps. You could really feel like there's not that good continuation. There's not that many buyers right now, and there's not that good resolution. So as a person that's trading usually near an all-time high, looking for a stock to go even higher, it's been really whacking me hard lately. So I don't feel like this week specifically for me personally is a time where I really need to be gunning it, because I got a lot on my plate and the whole world seems to have a lot on its plate. So it's not really like I'm missing anything. At least that's what it feels like. Now there's a few moves that we'll talk about in a second that I think there's some good opportunity, but I kind of want to let you guys know where my headspace is at the moment this week going forward specifically, just so you guys don't think I'm disappearing or I'm getting lazy or something. So let's first of all look at the SPX and see what's going on here, and look at this one. This is a weekly chart, and you could just see how this index is just absolutely getting clobbered. So back in 2020 Q1, this is the COVID catalyst basically coming out for the first time, COVID pandemic, I should probably call it, 35% down. And then we pretty much had a nonstop rally here, almost 120% back to the upside. And right now we're down about 12% from the all-time highs on the SPX. So we're definitely breaking that nice upwards trend. And it doesn't really look like there's any major bottom in sight yet, besides maybe this 4,000 zone. And right here, we have a little bit of a double/triple bottom coming in potentially. So maybe we're going to see a little bit of a bounce at one point, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we're just going to fall right through this. I mean, when we had this was pretty insane. The market was overall getting halted left and right. That was insane. I think in one day we had like 3 market holds. It was just crazy. That was actually some of my best day trading. It was weird. It was a very weird time. This is definitely not the case this time. This time it really feels a little bit more systemic on many different fronts, when this one was just pure fear of the pandemic. And I don't know, this one just feels a little bit different. But let's go ahead and actually go on the daily chart, get a little bit more of a zoomed in view, see what's going on here. And I'll leave that first pandemic, that first big sell-off here, and then let's see, this gives us a little bit more perspective that we did break this 180-day SMA, the simple moving average as well, and we're kind of coming back to this $4,300 zone that I marked earlier on the weekly chart, and you can kind of see that support coming in a little bit more now today. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 big major red days in a row so far. Maybe we're going to get like a midday rally or something like that before we continue selling off again, because that seems to be the current trend. The Dow Jones looking really, really similar here, and the NASDAQ as well. The NASDAQ, I think, is getting clobbered the hardest, which totally makes sense because it is more of a tech, high-flying sector, which had its big bull run, and right now it's really pulling back. Although during COVID time, it didn't pull back nearly as bad as the Dow Jones, which pulled back around 40%. So look at that. So I think it's really going to get clobbered pretty heavy this time around. Bitcoin too, totally falling off a cliff along with many other cryptos. We just got so top heavy in the $60,000 zone, and we've just been on a solid downtrend ever since. We have really big support coming in around 30,000. That's where we had several big touches in the past, where we rebounded off of. Not saying that we're going to have a great rebound off of it this time, but most likely there's going to be some sort of a bounce off of this, even if it's a dead cat bounce. So I'd be looking at that $30,000 zone for Bitcoin. And actually, if we scroll back on this chart, go to 2020, we could see here, this is how the charts looked like in 2020 when COVID came out. So this was Q1 2020. We were actually near an all-time high around February, and then we fell off a cliff before the prices bounced back a little bit. There's a lot going on in this chart. I know I usually don't use TD Ameritrade to look at Bitcoin. It throws a lot of extra stuff on my chart, and I have never really cleaned it up, but I figured I'm just going to show it here for now, just to give a little bit of perspective what the overall markets are doing. So let's go ahead and look at some of these small caps and talk about, why I've been a little bit reluctant to get more aggressive on these small caps in terms of price action as well. KSS was one of our lead gappers, but this is a large cap, usually a ticker that I'm not so interested in day trading. Usually the price action, this is an $8.5 billion company. Usually the price action is a little bit slower. It's just not my bread and butter. Today, it actually could have been some good opportunities, but even these big moves, you're only getting away with like 2% if you got, the perfect bottom and top. But KSS isn't really a ticker I would have traded today anyway, so I'm not going to focus on it. I think EXTN was really the nice one today. It is on an overall backside trend, but we did come in with a pretty nice range here. Look at this support forming around 2.7, 2.8. Bigger resistance right around $4, and we broke out of that area with the next major resistance zone coming in somewhere here. I would probably argue around 5, little over 5, and we had some big tops and bottoms in this area, so maybe we'll run a little bit more. Big resistance around 4.7 as well. Let's see here, oil and gas company, 33 million shares outstanding, 150 million market cap. Those are all really things I like to see. Looks like some catalysts are coming out, some sort of merger news. And then let's look at the 5-minute really fast. And you can see this ticker did its good front side move on my favorite time to be trading, and that's between 7 and 8 a.m. That's where I make most of my money. Really, really good 5-minute front side move. This was like a 60% rally. I want to show you guys really quick what this looked like on the 1 minute. You can see here, trading this pullback would have been pretty risky because this is still your first pullback. Has not proven to hold its highs, but into this breakout, this would have been a good one to be buying. Let's go back here. So that would have been around like 3.8 or so, and you can see there's big support around 3.8 on the way to the upside. It makes that nice break of $4, has another good pullback here. This would have been a phenomenal entry, and then it breaks out again, pullback, breaks out again. So really this leg right here, this 20% move would have been where I would have tried to get most of my action in. I don't know how I would have traded this one. Right here, I'd usually try to walk away once it starts breaking that 9 EMA too significantly. Who knows, maybe I would have scalped here a little bit, maybe gave back some profits, but like I said, 7 to 8 is always my favorite time to be making money, and you can see that nice move. And I think that was like the best move we saw all day. EXTN after the market opened just was a bunch of sell-offs and tried get back above VWAP, but it didn't really amount to much. We did have PIXY as well, another ticker here we've traded so many times in the past. You guys all know PIXY. I mean, look at all these spikes in the past we've traded so many times. And if we zoom in here right now, it's trying to get past this big resistance around 1.6 up back to $2. What I would have liked with PIXY is right around here when we had this red ticker remove. We were back above VWAP. The 5-minute was looking good. We had that good breakout. 5-minute candle making a new high here when you look to the left. And this 1-minute pullback was just absolutely perfect. 13% bounce there. So there is opportunities right now to be day trading. You just have to be really, really selective. And it's always easier said than done. In hindsight, everything's always 20/20. And most likely, me right now with thinking about everything else I need to be thinking about, I don't think I would have done so good today. It's always easy talking about these stocks in hindsight. So I really don't regret it. It is nice seeing that there is potential though. And I'm just trying to point out what I would be looking for you guys. GMVD, I wasn't really looking this one at all, but it looks like it had somewhat of a nice little front side move here at the market open. Daily chart, kind of multi-day runner extended, so I'm not crazy about the daily chart on that one. BTBD, I did see this one pop up when I first logged in this morning. It was up 700, 800%. Extended hours. I really don't know who would have ever traded this one, to be honest. This is probably mostly algorithm trading or somebody that's in a time zone that, where you can just wake up at 4 o'clock and survive. I don't know. That's not really for me. I did my 445 for 2 months, and it was heavy. Yeah, and ever since the market opened, this ticker is also selling off. So the opportunities are very few. There's a lot of waiting you would have to do. I mean, we had those opportunities from around like 7:30, and then a few opportunities in that first 30 minutes after the market opens for small caps. And I think there was just a lot of opportunity to make a lot of mistakes in between. So I really don't know how I would have fared today. Probably not too well. So I'm pretty happy just letting the market do its thing and focus on all the other things that I need to be focused on. Maybe tomorrow I'll do some trading. I'll definitely be using small size. If I do, I really don't think right now is the time to be sizing up, which is unfortunate because obviously I really want to be sizing up. I made so many videos about sizing up, especially in December and the beginning of January. But the market was just like, had totally opposite plans. So for me, sitting on the sidelines right now, I think is the best thing. And if I see a good setup, tomorrow, hey, I'll jump in it. I'm not saying that I'm not going to trade, but for me, I'm going to definitely take things a little bit easier, focus on everything else I need to do. And for me right now, that is the priority, not necessarily day trading small caps. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you then for tomorrow's recap. Don't forget to drop a like on the way out and consider subscribing if you're new. We'd love to have you part of the community. Like always, guys, stay safe, make some awesome trades, and keep away from that margin. Ciao, ciao, guys.